So, do you want to get better at sales? This podcast is going to be for you. Do you know something? People that want to save time, they are the ones that actually part with money and they invest in themselves. But the people who are tight-fisted with money, they end up wasting more time trying to figure things out. And this is the paradox of sales. If you want to get good at sales, you got to understand what does it take for someone to part with their money and if they see the value. Now, what I've observed after selling over $4 million worth of digital products is that the effort to sell a high ticket or a low ticket product is exactly the same. However, to build a high ticket offering, it requires some effort and it requires a lot of low ticket experiments to really understand your market first. So there are no shortcuts in this game, and don't fall for any marketing messages saying that it's very easy to sell high ticket products. There is a process to it. It is simple, but there's a process to it. So when you're starting off on the digital coaching journey, it is advisable to start selling low ticket products, anything under 10,000 rupees in value. So to sell a low ticket product, you ideally need three things that need to match: the message, the market, and the offer. If you have a strong message to market match, a lot of people resonate with what you're actually talking about. And if your offer is matching with the market, you'll have much better conversions. So when there's a good message to market match, if you're doing webinars, you'll have more show-ups in your webinars. And when the offer to market match is there, you'll have more people buying in your webinars. It's as simple as that. And what I've observed is that people that want everything for free usually do not achieve any results as expected. Why? Because they don't see the value and they're not willing to pay the value for them to experience the value, for it to add value to their life and their business. So here's why. Because when they're tight-fisted with money, it fundamentally creates a block in their own internal system to receive money. When people pay, they pay attention. Else, they usually do not value the information. If anyone is not willing to invest 5,000 rupees in their education, they do not have a growth mindset. And that's why that is my litmus point or the benchmark for getting an ideal customer. Also, when they do not invest in their own learning, even their audience will mirror the same behavior. Like if someone is looking for cheap stuff, they'll end up attracting a cheap audience who's looking for cheap stuff. And it gets into a loop that does not really help anyone financially and even in terms of impact. And I've also noticed that every single member in my community that has invested in my higher programs, I'm talking about the Diamond membership level, my Quantum membership level, have progressed much faster in their digital coaching business because of this specific reason. And the same thing happened with me many years ago. While I was trying to play the cheap game, I was stuck and I was running around in circles. And the moment I broke through my own resistances of buying high value products, my bank account started to grow. This is the paradox of sales. If you want more sales, you need to be a buyer first. I'll repeat that. If you want more sales, you got to be a buyer first. You got to demonstrate the behavior that you want your customers to do. The act of investing in your own growth will give you a subconscious release of resistances and an edge over others, where you will have the moral authority to charge others without feeling guilty. You know, guilt only comes when you're trying to sell stuff without you being a buyer yourself. I'll repeat that again. Guilt only comes when you're trying to sell stuff without you being a buyer yourself. And here's another interesting thing that I observed about sales. The higher the ticket, the lesser the time people decide to buy. The lower the ticket, the more time you need to spend educating your audience to buy. You know, in my regular webinars where I sell my silver membership, I need 90 minutes to 2 hours to sell the product. I need that much of time to educate my audience on the features and the benefits of starting on this journey with me. But for people investing in my Diamond membership or Quantum membership, the effort and time to sell that particular product is so much more lesser. And you know what? A lot of my Diamond members have jumped in really fast because they see the value. In fact, for my Quantum, my last batch of 25 members, that got closed within 45 minutes of me opening it up. And Quantum is not a low ticket. It's a 10 lakh rupee investment. It's not a small amount. But my effort to close that batch was much lesser than a 2-hour webinar. How come? It's because people saw the value in saving time and they invested their money. Simple, okay? And something that I have not shared openly before, I currently invest over $30,000 a year in my own education. I'm a part of a mastermind where I'm constantly learning, and I'm always surrounding myself with people that are much better than me. And that's the secret. So I'm demonstrating the behavior that I would like my customers to do. Many people have this concern. Oh, I don't have money to invest in high ticket programs. Honestly, that's just an excuse. If someone really wants to move up and level up in their game, they will find a way. Every single person that I've known to break through their own barriers within my community have made that investment when they did not have the money. They got resourceful when they had to, and that pressure of performance pushed them to greater levels of success in their business. So here's a summary of some key lessons when it comes to sales. Selling low ticket and high ticket requires the same effort. Building a solid high ticket offer requires many low ticket experiments. There are no shortcuts in this game, and don't fall for marketing messages. Have a low ticket front end product to increase the volume of customers and a high ticket back end product to increase your profits. This dual formula is the best formula. People that value time, they will invest their money. And people that are tight-fisted with money will spend more time. To sell low products, you'll need to spend more time with your buyers. To sell high-ticket products, you need to spend lesser time with the buyer. And another thing is, you got to demonstrate the behavior that you want to see in your customers. Don't expect people to buy your products unless you are a buyer yourself. You need to have the moral authority when you sell. And when you invest in higher ticket programs, you will break through your own internal barriers that will allow you to sell more. Every successful person had invested when they did not have the money. Not having money is only an excuse. Now, what I've shared in this podcast is the essence of all my failed experiments, and you do not have to go through that 10-year learning curve. Just apply my concepts and you can cut this short to a 2-year journey. Just stay focused and do not get allured by all the shiny objects in the online space. It's never about tools and techniques. It's about your internal game of being congruent as a person. That is what will attract sales. Stick to your word, over-deliver value, give people 10x the value of what they're paid for. And sales is just a transfer of emotions. Selling for me is a form of service. When you believe in yourself and the impact your product can deliver to your students, that will attract the right students. And don't worry about the conversion numbers. Work on yourself every single day and those conversions will take care of itself. And here's the icing on the cake. To increase your sales, get detached to the results. Crazy, right? Whenever I go into webinars expecting X number of sales, the sales drops. And whenever I've gone into webinars without focusing on the results, but just adding immense value to my audience, it's in those webinars I've got crazy number of sales. This is the paradox of sales. I hope this has given you a deep idea on sales and its impact on your business. Share your comments below. And I'd love to see you skyrocket your sales applying these principles. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye.